Hello, this is the class of Introduction to Data Science, and I'm going to continue the class. We are discussing about the categorical data, how to handle the categorical data, and yeah, in this section, we are continuing about binary encoding. So we already learned at least three techniques. The first is the replacing the values, and the second is label encoding, and the other is one-hot encoding. And now we are entering the new chapter about binary encoding. So this technique is not as intuitive as the previous ones. Okay? So in this techniques, the categories are encoded as ordinal. Okay? I guess you still remember what is ordinal. Okay? When it is ordinal, it means we have the order. So, for example, small, medium, and large. We know that small is the lowest one and large is the highest one. It depends on the way you define. Okay, and then those integers are converted to binary code. Okay, so if you have the ordinal, then we change it to binary code. And then the digits from that binary string are split into separate columns. So this encodes the data in fewer dimensions than one hot. Okay. So when we have the integers, we can code it into first we convert to ordinal, and then we convert to binary code, and yeah, it is similar to one hot but with the smaller dimension. Okay, so let's see the example. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Before this one, you can do binary encoding via a number of ways, but the simplest one is using the category encoders. We have the category encoders, and yeah, you can use that one. You need to install first the category encoders, or you can download from the site. But I will teach you how to install this one. And first, you need to import the category encoders after you install it, and then you need to invoke the binary encoder function by specifying the column that you want to encode and call the dot fit transform. So it will fit with the data frame as argument. Okay, let's see. We need to install this category encoders. Okay, so in this category encoders, there are many other functions actually. Okay, and after you already have this category encoders, you can do with this category encoders. So first, I would like to copy the data. So from the categorical the flights, and I put it into the CE. So CE means the category encoder. I will import the category encoders, and okay, now I would like to use an encoder. So this encoder is a variable that I used from the category encoder CE, and I call the method binary encoder. So I call the binary encoder for the carrier. Okay. So in this carrier, we convert the carrier, okay, and with this binary encoder, first we do the fit transform. So we fit the transform from the encoder here, fit the transform into the data that we have on the categorical the applied C. So this is the data that we have. And after we have this transform, then yeah, you can get the result like this one. So here you can see that the data, the carrier 0, carrier 1, carrier 2, carrier 3, carrier 4. Okay, so we have only 4, yeah, because we want to make it as an ordinal data. Okay, so as I mentioned before, okay, maybe this one. Notice that 4 new columns are created in place of the carrier column with binary encoding for its category. So note that the category encoder is very useful library for encoding categorical columns. Not only does it support one-hot binary and label encoding, but it also includes advanced encoding methods like Helmert contrast, polynomial contrast, and backward difference. Okay, I will not discuss the other. Okay, because this one is one of the possible way for doing the categorical encoders with the binary. So if you want to do more with the other kind of encoders, of course, you need to understand the mathematicals like in the Helmert contrast and polynomial contrast and etc. Okay. So I will just explain the other kind of features. Okay. So this kind of features are related with the categorical by setting the ranges of values of observation. Okay. So sometimes you may encounter categorical features column which specify the range of values for observation points. For example, it's okay, the its column. You know, its is a numerical, but I want to put it into the categories like 0 until 20, 20 until 40, and so on. So you already learned about the cut, okay, pd.cut. Okay. While there can be a lot of ways to deal with the features, okay, the most common one is either split these ranges into two separate columns and replace them with some measures like the mean of that range. So you can use the pd.cut in order to cut the values into some particular ranges, or yeah, you can have like more function. Okay. In this features, we will try to create a dummy data frame which has just one feature H, which range specified using the pandas data frame function. Then you will split the column with the delimiter into two columns, which is start and end, and you use the split and lambda function. Okay, so yeah, you can use like this one. First, I would like to have the dummy age. Okay, and let's say I have this data frame. This is the range of the age: 0 under 20, 20 under 40, 40 under 60, and 60 under 80. And I would like to create a new column. So the first column is start, and the other column is end. Okay. And for every of this column, okay, I would like to make a zip. Okay. So zip, you know that in the zip we can combine. Okay, but in this case, I want to map this one according to the age. So I want to like split. Okay. So here I will use all the data. So the star is the pointer. So it's the concept of pointer in the C, and we are making from the dummy TF8 from the column 8, and we are going to map. How to map this one? So we map it by using a function x, and the mapping is based on the splitting function with the dash. So it means if we want to split criteria is the dash. So this will be the start, and this will be the end. Okay. And then split this one, and this will be the start, and this will be the end, okay, and so on. And yeah, we can get the value like this one. So the start and end, yeah, start is 0 and end is 20, and start is 20 and the end is 40, and so on. Okay, we can have this one from this data, and we split with string. So we will learn about string. And to replace the range with its means, you can write split mean function, which basically take one range at a time, split it, and calculate the mean and return it. So you already know how we can use the apply method. Okay, so when we do the aggregation, we can use this way. So for example, uh, we can have this one. Let's say, yeah, I just want to have the range, and it's the easy way to calculate the mean. I'm using the two values. So if it is in between 0 until 20, then the mean is just 0 plus 20 divided by 2. Okay. Now you can see I have this data frame, and then I have the function split min. Okay. So the split list is the splitting from the string, and I would like to use the dash as the splitting parameter or the splitting delimiter. And then the min. What is the min? The min will be, I would like to use the split list 0. So split list 0 means from this one. Okay. And split list 1, it is also from this one. Because I have the delimiter this one, then this will be the index 0. Okay. And this will be the index 1. The same with this one, this will be split it into 2. So the first will be the index 0 and the other will be index 1. So for the split list index 0, I would like to make it as a float, plus the split list index 1, I also make it as a float and then divide it by 2. Then yeah, we will return the mean value. So when we have this one, we want to do we want to create a new column, its mean, and this its mean means I want to create a new column based on the column age, okay, based on the column age, and then I want to apply, apply. We have the lambda function that we can use to aggregate, or we can do something with the function, and the function is based on the lambda. We want to use the split min, and the split min is this one. Okay, so by using this feature, so we can make, this is the categorical. Okay, so this is the categorical, and we have the range of ages, and we want to calculate the mean, and we get this result. 10 is the result of 0 plus 20 divided by 2. 30 is 20 plus 40 divided by 2. 50 is 40 plus 60 divided by 2, and so on. Okay. So in summary, yeah, you already learned all those techniques. We learn about how to replace the values, and we learn how to encode the labels. We also learn the one-hot encoding scheme, and we learn the binary encoding. And the last one, we learn about the miscellaneous features. Okay. So we are going to go to the next section. This is about string. So this section, we are going to discuss about the string. Okay. And the next, oh, it's not about the basic machine learning. For next chapter, I will still discuss about the data preprocessing. So the text or string, we need to handle this also, especially when your data is not in the alphabet. Okay? But for this chapter, I think I will just use alphabet. Let's say the A, B, C. Okay? So you will learn how to deal with string data. So we will discuss about the panda string, and then it will I will discuss how to read the text file, and then yeah, we will learn together how to analyze text in JSON. JSON is a JavaScript notation format. So I will use two kind of data sets, so you can take a look on your e-class. There are Untitled TXT and then recipe. So it's about food. Yeah, so I show you this data set for your analysis later. String. Okay, we can make a factor of a string. How? Okay. One strength of Python is the relative is in handling and manipulating the string data. Pandas build on this and provides a comprehensive set of factorized string operation that becomes an essential piece of the type of munging required for working with cleaning up the real world data. Okay. So we will learn how we can deal with the pandas string operation. And yeah, we are making something to create a good result from the recipe dataset. So the pandas string operation, actually you can use the NumPy pandas. Yeah, those provide the basic operation for string, and of course in NumPy it provides the very basic arithmetic operation for array. Okay, if you take a look on this one, yeah, if I import the NumPy and then I have the NP array, okay, 2, 3, 5, 7, and then if I make a kind of operation x multiplied by 2, then every number will be multiplied by 2. Okay, so this factorization of operation, yeah, it simplifies the syntax of operating on arrays of data. So we no longer have to worry about the size or shape of the array, but just about what operation we want to do, we want done. Okay, so for arrays of string, NumPy does not provide simple access, and you will start using more verbose loop syntax. So for example, this one, if I have this data, okay, I have string, it is a list. I have Peter, Paul, Mary, and Guido. Okay, so this is the list of string, and I want to make it as a capital. So here I make the comprehensive list. So the S is the data. Okay. So the data here is in data, and I have S for every element in the data. Let's make it capitalized. So the Peter, Paul, Mary, and Guido will change to be capitalized. This is perhaps sufficient to work with some data, but it will break if there are any missing values. So let's see. Yeah, if you contain none, like this one, none, what is none? None is a part of missing value. If you still remember, in the missing values we have none. Okay, it is to indicate object or string of text. We have n, it is to indicate the number, okay, numerical. So when we have known, it means it is an object, and if we have our data known, and if you want to work with the function like capitalize, then it will go to errors. So we need to do something. Okay, so we can use pandas, because pandas you can handle the string operation. You need to handle the string operation, and you need to correctly handling the missing data. And in the pandas, you need to use str. Okay, we need to use str in the pandas series, and this index object, it will contain strings. So for example, if we want to create a pandas series with this data, so the data is the one that we already defined. I will use pandas and I will make it as a series. So I have Peter, Paul, Non, Mary, and Guido. Okay, so this is from the previous data that I have. Now we can call a single method that will capitalize all the entry while skipping over any missing values. So we can just call names. Names is the series, okay, and then dot str. Str means the string, and capitalize. So this is the function to make the string into a capital. Okay, so all the words Peter now with big P, Paul with big P, none, yeah, it's still in none because none is none. Okay, Mary with big M and Guido with big G. So using tab completion on this str attribute will list all the factorized string methods available to pandas. Okay, so for example, yeah, if you want to know, okay, like names dot str dot okay, and you want to know what kind of methods here, so you can press tab. Okay. Yep, when you press tab tab, then you can see what kind of methods are available here. So you can check what is the proper method here, and then yeah, you can do with some processing. Okay. Tables. Oh, sorry, tables of pandas. Okay, it means there are many methods in panda string methods. So if you want to manipulate, if you have a good understanding of string manipulation in Python, so most pandas string syntax is intuitive. And it's probably sufficient to just list a table of available methods. So we will start with that here, and we can have some more function in examples. Okay, let's see this one. Okay, I make the variable Monte. Okay, and I have a series of string. Let's say this is the list of authors: Graham Chapman, John Cleese, Terry Gilliam, Eric Idle, Terry Jones, and Michael Palin. Okay, so the strings are more than one word. Now, if you call the Monte is the variable name, yeah, you can see the result. The index 0 is Graham Chapman, and John Cleese is the variable index 1, and so on. Okay. You can have a lot of Python string methods. I cannot explain one by one, but I guess you can, if you already know some basic function about the string. Yeah. For example, length. Length means you want to know the length of the string. Okay, length of the string. Left L-just. L-just means you want to left justify. And then the R-just, it means right justify, and so on. Okay, so there are many functions like lower, upper. So you want to make a lowercase, you want to make uppercase, okay, and so on. You want to make is lower. Usually, if you have is, the result will be like the Boolean, true or false. Okay, so notice that these have various return values, like lower with this bracket returns a series of string. Okay, let's say I have Monte, and then you need to follow with the str. Okay, str means a string, and then you need to call the lower. Lower means to make all the text, to make all this letter into the lowercase. Okay, lowercase. Okay, and yeah, but some others return numbers. Okay, what are they? Yeah, like this one, length. Length means the number of characters. So I have the Monte is the variable name, str is the string, and the len is the length. We have 14 characters. Why 14 characters? You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, we have 14 characters for the index 0 and so on. And if you have the Boolean values like this one, if the Monte and .str any string starts with T. What is T? Okay, Terry Gilliam, Terry Jones. So if it starts with T, then yeah, you will see the value which is true. Okay, true and true. And yeah, still other written list or other compound values for its element. So for example, if you want to split like this one, so this is splitting by space. It is the default. Okay, when you split by space, then you will see Graham, comma, Chapman. So this is the one that you can see from the previous section. This is the index 0, and this is index 1. Index 0, index 1, index 0, index 1. If you have only 2 names, then you have only index 0 and index 1. But if you have 3 names, for example, my name, okay, yeah, we have Bernardo, Dogro, yeah, then you will have the index 0, 1, 2, okay. So this is the result, okay. If you have the split, okay, and then I want to get the index 0. The index 0 means the first data, okay? And I want to have the index 0. So it is the first of the first data, okay. What is that? What does it mean? So here, the first is the index 0, and then the other is the Graham. This is the first data. So there are many other manipulation of this kind of series list of objects. Okay, so we're yeah, you can explore more, and we can see some other ways to do with this data manipulation. So there is the ability to concisely apply regular expression across series data frame entries opens up many possibilities for analysis and cleaning of the data. You know, when you are dealing with this series or data frame, especially with string, you need to understand the regular expression. But because this is only the introduction, I cannot explain everything. So you can join another class, which is the text mining, if you have interest on the text. So there are some methods, yeah, like get. Yeah. It means I want to get the index of each element. Slice. So I want to slice its element. Slice replace. Or cat. So I want to concatenate strings. Repeat. Or I want to normalize. Pet, wrap, join, get dummies. Okay, so get dummies, I think you already know. We want to make the categorical value into number 0, 1. When we want to factorize item access and slicing, yeah, so we can use get, we can use slice operation. Slice, so it's the same idea with the slice in the array. For example, if I want to check the first 3 characters, so I can just use slice 0, 3. Okay. Or you can use the square bracket, string 0, 3. Okay. So let's see. Yeah, if you have Monday and then I want to have it as a string and I want to know the first 3 characters, then you can do this one. Okay. Or you can have the str.get I is similar with this str I. So this get and slice methods also let you access the elements of the array written by split. Okay. For example, to extract the last name of its entry, can combine split and get. Let's say I want to split. Yeah. So after I split, so it means I have the what happened if I split? So I have the first name and I have the last name. Okay. And the name will be in this in this context, it is the index 0, and then it is in the index 1. But after I split, I want to get only the string in index 0. So I want to get only all the index 0. Okay, then this is the result. If I want to get -1, so it means I want to call the last column. So we have only 2 columns, right? Okay, Graham and Chapman. So this is the column 1. And if you are calling the get -1, it means it is the same with 1 because this is the last column. Okay? So get 1 or get -1, it will show you the same result. Indicator variables, okay? Another method that requires a bit of extra explanation is get dummies. This is useful when your data has a column containing some sort of coded indicator. For example, we might have a data set that contains information in the form of codes. For example, A, it means the person is born in America. If category B, then the person is born in United Kingdom. In category C, the person like cheese. D, then the person like spam, for example. Okay. So I would like to have this information. Okay. In the full one day, I would like to combine the name. Okay. This is the name: Graham, Chapman, John Cleese, Terry Gilliam, and so on. And I generate a new column info. So the name will be Monte, and the info will be something like this one. Okay, so let's say B represent what you can see here. B is born in United Kingdom, A is born in America, and then C and D represent something about food. Yeah, the food indicator. Okay, B, then the person is born in United Kingdom. C, oh, he likes cheese. D, oh, he likes spam. Okay, and he was born in United Kingdom. Okay, he likes spam, and so on. So I have this kind of info for full Monte. Now I have something to make or to create the string in order to be more precise in our explanation. So we can split it, this indicator variables, into data frame by using get dummies, and we can have this one. In the full Monte, we have the info, the column info, and in the column info, I would like to make it as a string, and the get dummies, I would like to have the I would like to split with this character or the horizontal line. Okay. In our case, we can say this is the one hot encoding scheme. Okay, this is another one hot encoding scheme. So if the first person A is 0, B is 1, and C is 1, and D is 1. Okay. With this operation as building blocks, you can construct an endless range of string processing procedures when you clean your data. Okay. There are many other related resources. Yeah, so you can learn from this one. Okay. So if you click this one, there are many guidance about the data, text data. Okay, so you can refer to this one. So I would like to explain to you about how we can read the data from a text file. Okay, so I have one text file, so you can take a look on your text file. Okay, so the text file contains 2 lines, and we have here f is a function, a variable, and we want to open the txt file. This is the name of the txt file, and we have r means read. We want to read the value. Okay, okay, we want to read, and after we read it, I want to read line. Okay, so read line means I want to read in the first line. So the first line is hello student. And if you want to go to the next line, okay, so you can have the okay, let me just run this one. Okay, hello student. And then the next line, if you again f dot read line, it will go to the next line. This is the course of data science. We have only 2 lines, okay. And if you want to do one more time, it will be errors. Okay. So for example, if I run again, okay. So after I run again this one, so let's say I have this one, okay. So no result because it's already the end of the line. Okay, so there is no further result. So in order to do a better way to read all those lines, so we can make something like loop. Okay, we can make a kind of iteration. So this iteration is about how we can read line by line. Okay, so we can use with open untitled txt, and we can use r, and we can use the encoding, which is the UTF-8. So the UTF-8 actually it is a common format. Okay, and when we do with this common format, we can read all the alphabet A, B, C, D. If you are using a Korean character, I think you need to use another kind of encoding. And here we want to open the file and we want to put it into variable f. And here, for every line in the f, we want to strip. Strip means I want to put every line into the data, and we go to the next line. So the next is I want to reformat. Why? So I want to reformat for every line that I read. I want to join it and I want to make it into one kind of data JSON. Okay. So if I run this, okay, you can see the data JSON like this one. So you have 2 like elements in the list. The first element is the element on the line 1, and the other element is the string in the line 2. So you can split, this is the line 0 or line 1, comma, this is the next line. Okay. But do not use reshape because we cannot, because in this JSON, we here is not about the data frame. Okay, so you cannot do the reshape. So what is JSON actually? Okay, so in this case, I would like to make more understanding about the JSON. The JSON is a collection of data with key and value. Okay. So we have key and value. We have key and value. We have key and value, and then we have key and value. Okay, and as you can see here, we have set. Okay. So here is a set, and then those set will be in one list. Okay. So if you have this one, this is the data trial JSON. Name is the key, students is the value, city is the key, Seoul is the value, name is the key, teacher is the value, city is the key, and Yongin is the value. And if I want to read it in the pandas, okay, so I can import pandas, and let's say I want to use maybe not recipe, but it's okay. I will use recipe, and then I want to read the JSON file. What is the JSON file? I want to use the data trial JSON. So I will use this one, data trial JSON, for this experiment. Then, yeah, I can call the recipe here. Okay, you can see here that the JSON directly formatted into a data frame. So the first is name, okay, and then we know that the first name is students, and the person live in Seoul. And the second data is teacher, and the person live in Yoin. Okay. Now you can have the shape because it is in the form of data frame. Okay. And yeah, you can also define the position. If it is in the position 0, then I know that the information is about student, and the city is in Seoul, and all the data types are object. Okay. Yeah, I guess I will stop here. I will continue about this recipe database in our class. Thank you for joining this video.